Red Nation, are we here?
The best show for Chicago sports.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah. What's good? Hey, yo. What's good? We in the building for another week. What is good, everybody? It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Live. On today's episode, gotta break down what we want to see from this Bears team in mandatory minicamp, man. Also, DK holding out? DK doing a little bit of holdout game? Yeah, DK still in play for some teams. We'll talk about that. We'll also get to your questions of the day. Make sure y'all drop those over on the Twitter side. Hashtag them QTOD. All that and more. We do appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Today is June 13th on a Monday. I love it. I love it. We out here doing what we love, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. If you in here right now, you watching this thing, I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and
push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. How y'all feeling today? How we feeling today? I'm in this mug, man. I got the couch down here. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking it. We getting this stew set up. Got the nice new backdrop in this mug, man. We get a couple of different things going on, man. How y'all feeling? I'm glad to be back for another week. We got a lot of stuff going on here. I can take the headphones off now. I just needed it to hear the music, man. All the audio should be good. Yeah, I'm saying. And I'm excited to be back in this month. Bears mandatory minicamp going down. What? Bears mandatory minicamp on the way. Some other mandatory minicamps getting very, very interesting because we got some holdouts over there. But on the Bears side, right? As we're getting this thing started off, let's jump straight into it. It was a beautiful weekend for me, by the way. Got to give my little brother his wedding gift. He was over here yesterday. We had a dinner with him and the new missus. What else we did this weekend, man? Saturday. Oh, the super producer Joel Holt ended up, you know what I'm saying, doing what he had to do, tying a knot. Shout out to him, man. Big love to him and the new wife. Saw love and support out here, man. Man, it was a weekend of meeting new couples. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too bad, though. It was a fun weekend, man. We had a great time out at his house, man. Enjoyed ourselves, had some good drinks, all that good stuff, man. All that good stuff. There's nothing like watching your friends and family, what's the word for it? There's nothing like watching your friends and family start a new journey. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like watching people start a new journey and really, you know, get on the path that they're ready to get on and watching people be happy, bro. I love it. That's what it's all about for me. That's what it's all about. Let's talk some sports here, y'all. Because the question on the table right now, what do we need to be watching for at mandatory minicamp? What do we need to be watching for at mandatory minicamp from the Bears? Because there's a lot of things, right, that I think you could look at and say the Bears need to improve here. They need to do this. They need to do. But for me, none of that. None of that is. There's one thing that stands out above all to me. And especially with what's going on over in Seattle, I think it's a thing that we need to key in on. Is Robert Quinn coming? Because your defense is drastically different if Robert Quinn's not a part of your roster. Your defense is drastically different if Robert Quinn's not a part of your roster. It's just a fact. I'm not saying that he's going to be the end-all, be-all on that defensive line, but I'll tell you what, I think a lot of what we're expecting from Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, those big-name guys that we got out there, right? I think a lot of what we're expecting from them hinges on, do you have your guy that can get to the quarterback back there? That's the one thing that I'm going to be focusing in on most. And if he's not there, what does that mean for this Bears team moving forward? What does that mean for this season? I think that that's something that you got to key in on. Now, of course, there's the other things that will Justin Fields' progression, how he moves forward, right? What is some other thing? I mean, how this offense is really going to start moving, how it's going to start clicking. You know what I'm saying? And really, what we're going to see, what kind of run schemes we're going to see. We know that this is going to be a very run heavy team, but what kind of run schemes that we're going to see? A lot of different things like that, right? But the one thing that just keeps sticking out to me like a sore thumb is, where will Robert Quinn be? Because if I'm coming into this, it's already a very young team, but if I'm coming into this as some of my veterans are not on the field, I've got a problem. I got the whole wrong thing up there. Don't worry about that. I got Warriors Live call on that one. If I'm coming into this day one, play one, as some of my veterans are not on the field, I'm starting off my season with an issue, especially somebody that you feel was going to be on that team as a leader. So that's the big thing for me to start it off. Now, as I continue to look down the line at where I think this Bears team needs improvement and what I want to see from them at mandatory minicamp, of course, the one thing that I think is going to be big outside of just like guys coming to camp is, are we seeing what's going to be set at the offensive line position? I said that horribly, but I think y'all understand what I mean. We've seen a lot of movement. We saw a lot of movement in OTAs at the O-line, right? Like there was a lot of, hey, Tevin Jenkins is here. Now Larry Borum's here. Tevin's with the twos today. We're going to play Braxton Jones here, right? We saw a lot of that, and that's okay. I don't mind that at rookie minicamp, and it's not like I'm freaking, or I'm sorry, not rookie minicamp. I don't mind that at OTAs. It's not like I'm freaking out by it like a lot of people were like, oh my God, Tevin Jenkins playing with the twos? What are we going to do? How are we going to overcome? Like, I wasn't worried about it. When Jalen Johnson was playing with the twos, I wasn't worried about it. It's not a matter of, is he there when we're talking about lineup construction at OTAs? I want to know, is he healthy? Are these guys in shape? Are they moving in the right direction? Steve-O, what's good, man? How you feeling today? You know, are they in shape? Are they moving in the right direction? Are they feeling good? Are they? That's all I'm worried about at OTAs. There's some things that I try to take from OTAs. There's some different things I'm looking at, but really it's just for you to get your conditioning in order. But I will say this. On the flip side of that, when we get the mandatory minicamp, now's the time you want to start setting some lineups. Now's the time you want to start setting some people in place to see, okay, this guy is going to be a starter. This guy is going to be your number two. This guy is going to, you know what I'm saying? Because this is where you start to see a little bit more of the main guys in the building. We didn't see Robert Quinn. Okay, it was all voluntary. Now, is Robert Quinn going to be on that starting defensive line? You know what I'm saying? Same with the O-line. Is Tevin Jenkins a starter? Is Larry Borum a starter? Is Braxton Jones, the rookie, going to come in and take their jobs immediately? Those are questions that I need answered. Those are questions that I need answered. And so I really, that's the other thing that I'm watching there, really just to see kind of how things are going to be set, really just to see where this team is the direction that they're going to try to go with it. Because I think that that's going to be the most important part on both sides, right? In the trenches. I need my trenches set. I don't mind having Braxton Jones come up and get time with the ones at rookie minicamp. Or not rookie, I keep saying rookie minicamp, at OTAs. You know why? Because Braxton Jones legitimately might have to step in and play. Braxton Jones might have to be a real piece on this team in the first season because of the issues that we've seen at the offensive line position. That might be real. As Matt Nagy would say, that's real. That's fact. That's something that's tangible. We can hold on to that. That might be real. So I need to know kind of where these guys are going to be. And here's the thing, right? Whether it's Braxton Jones, Larry Borum, Tevin Jenkins, that name, more than likely, based on the health that our offensive line has had, is probably going to have to step in. Cody Whitehair's gone down just about every last 2 seasons. I think he's missed time. Lucas Patrick, now he's come in pretty healthy. He'll be an interesting one to see what he's going to turn into in a Bears uniform, and is he going to be healthy? How's he going to play? But I mean, you're talking about guys that haven't been healthy. You're talking about guys that haven't been able to put it together. You're talking about guys that haven't been able to keep a consistent 5 on the field because of health. So I need to know that the dude that's going to step in and back him up is going to be good. I need to know that the dude that's going to step in and back him up is going to be on point and is going to be prepared and is going to understand what's happening. Again, we talked about Friday, I think I said, keep it simple, stupid. That's where I'm at with it. How do you keep this thing simple to make it easy for everybody there to be prepared and ready to go? Some other things that stood out to me. Dr. Earl, what's going on, man? Some other things that stood out to me that I really want to see. And here's something that kind of went under the table, right? And I don't know if the Bears intended this to where they had the guy they wanted in there. So, and he was playing well, so they didn't really go away from him. They didn't really talk about anybody else too much and stuff like that. Who's the other wide receivers on this team? Right? Like, hey, did anybody hear about a Byron Pringle at all during OTAs? Yeah, I'm saying, remember these guys we signed that we thought were going to come in and were going to give us this great production? Remember that? I remember that. It wasn't that long ago. That's my question, right? Like, remember these guys we signed that we thought was going to come in and really change the game? He's going to be able to take the top off. I haven't heard one thing about Byron Pringle or any wide receiver outside of Darnell Mooney and Velus Jones. Shay, what's good, bro? Like, did I miss something on that? That like, legitimately, did I miss something where like Velus Jones came out and I'm sorry, not Velus Jones, where Byron Pringle took a play off, took the top off? Did I miss that? So I'm going to be looking at that at mandatory minicamp as well, right? Because to me, right, if there's holdouts in the NFL, now I'm not saying that the Bears are going to be in on DK Metcalf. I'm not saying that because I don't think we have the assets to go get him. I just don't. And even if you're gonna do draft capital, right, and maybe you feel good, like I saw a report this morning about the Bears possibly throwing a first from next year's draft and a what was it, a second, I think, from 2024 or 2025, one of those. And that gets you DK Metcalf. Are we at the point where we want to start throwing draft capital away? I'm not there. Is DK such a player that you can't find him in the draft if you feel good about the guys that are drafting? I don't believe that. And he comes with a $20 million tag. But at mandatory minicamp, I need to know whether I need to be going out and finding receivers. Because I haven't heard one thing about a Byron Pringle. I don't even who are the wideouts that we even signed? We got signed a bunch of. Listen, that's serious right there, dog. Like you didn't show nothing at I mean, we heard Darnell Mooney, we heard Velus Jones. Let me see here, Chicago Bears, because I know there's a name I'm forgetting right now. Oh, Equinemius St. Brown. Did anybody hear anything about Equinemius St. Brown during OTAs? Who's going to step up? Who's going to take that next step? Who's going to get to the next level? That's a huge question mark. And I like the two names that we do have, and I'm not saying that you got to have a full slate of wideouts to go out here and win every game. You know, you don't have to have 15 wideouts, but who's 3? And that does kind of lead into the DK conversation, right? Because we've heard that he's held out. We've heard that he hasn't shown up to the Seahawks mandatory minicamp again. Biggest question mark for me on that: why would he want to? Right? Like, is he really? Is I don't even, like, is Geno Smith drawing him there? Drew Lock, that's who's getting the job done for him there. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm DK's an interesting name for some of these teams, right? But I guess the question on the Bears side anyway, would you be upset if the Bears missed out on DK? I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Now, it depends on what you miss out on DK for, right? But like, if I guess if it's a little bit of nothing and he like goes to the Packers or something like that. But I don't look at DK. See, when I look at DK, right, in the man-to-man, he's one of the most dominant players in the NFL. When you get him one-on-one, he's got the big body, he's got the speed, he's got all of that, right? But when you started watching, and go watch the tape, maybe it's just me that saw this, but when you start to watch DK versus zone, he's not the same DK. He's not as effective of a DK. And I'm talking about even with Russell Wilson on the field, right? Like, there's a difference. His numbers drop when they're running that zone against him. And man-to-man, he's got it. Of course he does. He's the biggest body on the field, offense and defense. But when you started seeing him going up against that, even just a Tampa 2, right? Like, you saw him go up against a little Tampa 2, all of a sudden, he's not getting the same separation that when they're able to pass him off. Hands are getting in there. They're playing in front of him. Is that on Russ? Is that on DK? There was a lot of times where DK had his hand on the ball, comes up from behind, gets it punched out. I got questions. I'm not saying it's not great, right? But if I've got questions at that, am I going to pay you as a top wide receiver in the NFL $20 million a year? If I'm a Bears fan, I wouldn't be upset if the Bears missed out on DK, depending on the price, right? Like, if the Jets, I think the Jets have the best capital kind of out of anybody. If the Jets go in there and they give 2 firsts, like, all right, we can't compete with that. Now, if he goes for like a 5th and a 3rd, okay, I got beef there. Like, there's stipulations on every side of it, right? So I think we're gonna be. I think with DK, right? I do think he's gonna get moved. I do think that he's gonna get moved to probably a pretty good team. The only team that would scare me a little bit if they went and got him, I'm not gonna even stunt with you. If he ends up on the Vikings, because I've heard Vikings a little bit. If he ends up on the Vikings, yeah, there's some issues there. We and here's the situation, right? Here's the situation, tough situation. You have to ask yourself the question, though, right? Because sometimes you gotta play chess, not checkers. Sometimes, and usually not with big name players, but if you hear the inklings of a Green Bay or Minnesota possibly picking him up, do you make the move to block? Do you make a move for DK Metcalf to block other teams from getting him? There's a more interesting situation for me, right? Like if I say, hey, because here's the thing, I still think DK's a really good player. I do. I still think DK is a really good player, but in that situation, right? Maybe you get DK in there this year. DK doesn't want to stay, and we'll ship him somewhere else. We'll get something back for him. But now you get to make the say of where DK goes instead of him ending up on the Packers, on the Vikings. I don't think he's going to end up there anyway. I think the Vikings was one of the long shot teams that I was reading about. But that's one of the situations to me. That's one of the scenarios to me where I look at it and I say there's some interest there where if DK ends up on that team, and listen, I don't think Kirk Cousins is the end all be all, but he's got enough weapons around him to be pretty good. You add DK to that team, that's scary. You add DK to that team, that's scary. But you also have to ask yourself, are you even ready for that? I see DK getting moved. I'm gonna be real. If DK, I see no reason why DK stays in Seattle. If DK gets moved, I would say he'll probably end up getting moved to the Jets. I think that's probably the situation that I see where he might even have a little bit of interest in going there as well, right? Because I think that Zach Wilson is going to take a little bit of a step. I don't think that he's going to be the next great quarterback in the NFL, right? I don't think he's going to be this dominant force. I don't think he's going to be the end all be all, but I do think that if you put some weapons around Zach Wilson can be pretty nice. I think their offensive line will take a little bit of a step as well this season. And that you're going to see them DK will get his money. He'll get a team that'll want him and bring him in as what I think is the number one, right? I always thought, right, the only intrigue for me from DK is that I think that Darnell Mooney plays very similar to Tyler Lockett, who I think is their number one, but you then have to pay DK as the number one. That's the tough part for me, right? That's the tough part for me. And here's the thing: we're having this conversation now. If Velus Jones continues to be able to do what he was able to do in college and bring that to the pros, we won't be having this conversation next year. He makes a little bit of money. He's 25 years old, and it's all good. What's going on, McSeason? How you feeling, man? I think that's best case scenario to me. In a Bears uniform, right? I just don't see DK coming here and changing that much. I also don't know if you can go get DK at a time where you don't know if your offensive line is set yet. If I know Justin Fields is going to have the protection that we've been told he's going to have, that's a different situation. But I don't know that. I see Hayes in the chat. What's going on? Corey in the chat. Hayes, hey, bro, y'all got to check some of the comments on Chicago Bulls Central on our Kai video, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, it is pretty funny. Or not on Chicago Bulls Central, my bad. On Locked On Bulls on our Kai video, bro. It's pretty funny, bro. Like we are getting called out for not believing that man is the next superstar. King Rodney bringing up an interesting point here. I would much rather monitor the Terry McLaurin situation. Terry would be a better fit. I do like Terry. I think that Terry would be an interesting fit here, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, Terry, not very similar build to Darnell Mooney. Let me see here. Now, of course, got more opportunity, did a little bit more with it. 26 years old, 6 feet tall. And he is planning on, at least as of 2 hours ago. Let me get Twitter pulled up here so I can start acting like a professional show again. You know what I'm saying? The Terry McLaurin situation is an interesting one. I'm not gonna lie. That's one where I'm a little more intrigued by it. Because I feel like Terry McLaurin is he's looking for the perfect situation for him, right? So he might be a little more inclined to come to a situation with a younger quarterback where there's going to be some room to grow, where there's going to be some bumps in the road, but he knows he's 26. I wouldn't mind getting in there and actually, hey, listen, we're going to take our time with this thing, but when it's all said and done, we're going to make some plays happen. I think that Terry would be an interesting one. And here's the latest per Adam Schefter, at least a couple hours ago here. Get this pulled up. Excuse me. So one-man show today. Don't mind me. Bow. Take that off the screen. So people can read. Per Adam Schefter, Washington wide receiver Terry McLaurin does not plan to attend this week's mandatory minicamp. Per sources, McLaurin is continuing to seek a contract extension consistent with other comparable wide receivers that recently signed. Until he has it, he will miss reps with the new Washington quarterback, Carson Wentz. And I think that's the scariest situation with everything that's going down in Washington right now for them. Dog, like, think about it. Like, we're talking about the same situation, not same situation, but like missed reps with a new quarterback matters. And he knows it. Missed reps with a new quarterback matters, and Terry knows it. He's in the best situation to get some bread out of this. He's in the best situation to get some bread out of them. By the way, if you in here right now, man, you haven't done so, I'm going to need you to go ahead and do me a favor and just
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. But moves like that, right? Like, I wouldn't be upset at a move like that, depending on what Terry wants, right? Like, to me, even if Terry comes in now, what Adam Schefter says is comparable to other wide receivers that have been comparable. So I guess the best question is to look up Terry's stats. Terry's stats last season: 77 receptions, 1,000 yards, 13.7 yards per game, 5 touchdowns. What's that comparable to? What's that comparable to? See, in that situation, right, are we talking 14, 15 million? It's also with a bad quarterback as well, with a couple of bad QBs. And mid-level QBs. I guess I can. I don't want to say bad, right? Like a couple of game managers in a bad situation. How about that? How about that? A couple of game managers that are in a bad situation. That's what Washington was. So for me, right, I look at a Terry McLaurin and say, okay, you want to come here? We probably can get you for less. We probably will pay you less. We more than likely could get you longer. and you could come in here and we can figure out who's the number one. You could have with a Terry McLaurin on this team, you could have a Bengals situation, even though they drafted all of their guys. I wouldn't be surprised by something like that. Like you could have a Bengals situation, even though they draft like how their wide receiver room, where there's just a bunch of dudes where you're like, man, like he's a really good wide receiver. Man, he's a really good wide receiver. He could be a number one on a team. Yeah, I'm saying like I feel like you could be in that situation if you get McLaurin next to Mooney. And I want people to understand this. I believe Darnell Mooney's a number one. As of right now, Darnell Mooney's your number one. One, because Justin Fields has told you that Darnell Mooney is his number one, whether that's best case scenario or not, but it wasn't best case scenario last season, and Justin Fields still went with Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney's a number one. When I look at guys that have had numbers like this, like Darnell Mooney's numbers very similar to Terry McLaurin. And he did that with 3 quarterbacks. And he did that with 3 different quarterbacks, 3 different systems, and Matt Nagy. You always got to throw that on. And Matt Nagy. So for me, right, that's the biggest question mark, caveat, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Where do you have receivers on this team? And especially going into mandatory minicamp, right? That's what I said. Where do you have receivers on this team? Where's this team going with the wide receivers that they do have? Do you have more guys that are going to sneak under the radar? And then we're not talking about a DK or a Terry McLaurin. Or are you out there looking for a wide receiver? As we welcome into the show, the man, the myth, the legend, formerly known as Ringo J, Mr. Stefan the Don in the building. Steph, what's good?
What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all?
What's on with you, my boy? How you
What's
feeling?
good? Hey man, I'm good, man. I had a real nice weekend. You know?
Yeah. How'd everything go?
No, hey man, everything was straight, man. Everything was straight. We went downtown. Went to this restaurant called Tavern on Rush.
Well, do you want to tell the people what happened? I guess.
Yeah. Hey, my fault.
Everything.
Hey, yeah. So yeah. This weekend, first time seeing the biological family, seeing my parents, seeing my brothers.
Yeah.
We linked up. You know, it was an emotional time, but you know, it was real. It was real. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. So we definitely something we got to do again.
Yeah.
Just sat there and watched the game. So
they into sports like you are?
Hey, dog, my little brother was sitting up there breaking down the game like, you feel me? He was supposed to for a little man. He out there. So this is what it is. They want your ball when he set the screen. All right, okay.
Hey.
You feel me? So it was cool, and they watch us, so it was cool.
Oh, they watched the show?
Yeah. No, they bought some merch off us.
Hey,
they bought some merch off us. So you know, the next time I see them, they're gonna take some pics in the merch. But yeah, man. So I mean, it was cool. It was a real cool experience. Yeah, but other than that, I had a good weekend.
That's
seeing the Jurassic Park movie. But
was it okay? Let's get into that a little bit. I mean, we also got, you know, a little football going on here, but was it worth seeing in theaters or not on the Jurassic Park? Because the only way I can see me watching this on IMAX. So I'm gonna drop some bread on it if I go see this mug. But is it worth me risking COVID or not?
To me, not really. Like I stayed up through the whole movie, but like me, it was just real.
So they just got all these people together for no reason.
I mean, to me, basically, I'm not finna spoil it, but I'm legit like this could have been a stay home movie. Like this really could have been a stay home movie.
I could have watched it on the regular.
Like this legitimately could have been a stay-home movie.
Jesus, that's tough.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hey man, well here, jeez, that's tough. And it looked so good, dude. It looked so good.
It looked nice. It looked nice, but that's like that.
That
What you
was
see
it.
on TV is what you not.
Oh
The
god.
batteries
Hey,
ain't
I ain't gonna
included.
lie to you, bro. Like me and Kid was talking about that on the live call. Like we was watching it, and it was like a 6-minute trailer. We was like, well, shoot, do I even need to go see the movie? I feel like I just saw how it ended. Like what?
Nah, yeah, nah,
Bruh, that's tough.
nah. Big stay home on that. Big
And
stay
we
home.
gotta come up with like a movie review you dig for the breeze. Like how many clouds we giving that joint?
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
I mean, like
Yeah, yeah.
how many clouds we giving that joint? Hey man. Nah, we gotta do it. We gotta do it based off the weather, right? So if it's sunny and 70, it's a great movie. But if it's like if it's winter and -10, hey, what's the weather on that movie? Hey man, that movie goes in the mud,
Exactly.
man.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. The only funny part, so we sitting up there watching the previews,
Yeah.
and the Bud Lightyear you did came on. Everybody in there was like, "Oh, we in there for this."
Bro, oh yeah, dog. Buzz, I'm in there for that. Star Command,
We
come on now. I'm
hey,
more hyped for that than Jurassic Park.
two rows down. Buddy was like, "Oh yeah, we in here for this." I
Bro,
said,
I'm more
"Hey,
hyped for that than
okay."
I am Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? Like, Steve-O said, how many clouds for Hustle? I haven't seen Hustle yet. I'm hearing great reviews on it though.
Nah, hey, Hustle was good. The only reason why it was good is because like the way you see Ant-Man act on TV when he giving them post game pressures is like
So,
exactly how he acting in the movie.
I mean, yeah, they probably told him be yourself.
So
I'm not surprised by that. Hey, be yourself, brother. Let me ask you this question. Right? Like, I think even you guys kind of have the capital to go after it. And before we move on to the next topic, I wanted to get into it. But is DK Metcalf worth the capital people are talking about? Is he worth a couple of picks and you got to pay him 20 mil a year? I'll let you have it. I'll be right back.
I think for as young as he is and the compensation that they're talking about, I think you do it. I mean, if you look at it, we went back. I think it was a couple of months ago. We sitting up there watching film, and then Pat texted group chat and was like, "Yo, what's the how's he getting so open? What's the reason he's getting open, right?" His combination of size, speed, and the fact like his feet are legitimately that good, and the fact that he's that big, mugs are scared to like even press this dude. So at minimum, he's gonna be an easy third down target. An easy third down target for you to go to. Now I feel like he's coming down a little bit, after playing with Russ. So if Justin was to get him, I think it'll be a good get. But I mean, he automatically becomes your number one. You build a rapport with him. And yeah, I think him next to a Darnell Mooney is, especially after what Darnell Mooney's also been working with Justin, and he's also said he's he's got a lot in the tank that he hadn't shown. So 24 years old, red zone target, but not even a red zone target. I mean, even a deep threat too, because I mean, outside of not now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he is Julio, but like the measurables, everything like that. I mean, we haven't really seen that outside of Julio. So I mean, I think that later on he will want out. I think you try to go out and you get him. I mean, I'm legitimately taking a flyer on anybody I feel like is going to help Justin Fields produce. My fault. I got it. Anybody that's gonna help Justin produce. Mainly size, speed, and his feet. His feet aren't all right. Like his feet are actually really great. I'm not gonna say like it's top tier, like we talking about like Terry McLaurin or somebody like that, but they're legitimately they're not gonna press him. Like he's gonna get you an easy 5 either way. He's gonna get you an easy 5 either way. And then once you start working him into that offense, then those Russell Wilson bombs that you seen with Russ, him, Tyler Lockett, you're gonna start getting that down the field. You pair that up with a Mooney, you got, I would say, one of the better dynamic duos in the league. I'm not gonna sit up here and say like it's T Higgins and it's T Higgins and Jamar Chase, but it'll definitely be up there.
This is the interesting thing to me, right? Because when I see it, I look at it as a I feel like DK's game, while yes, he's a monster, he's a beast, you can't take anything away from it. There are parts of DK's game, especially when the zone comes out, that can be exploited. And when you need him as a number one, sometimes you can you pay him $20 million a year if he's not giving you that on third down, if he's not giving you that consistency, right? Because he wasn't the third down target. It was I can't think of this mug name. Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett was your third down target. That was your guy who you were looking to when it was getting tough, right? When Russ needed to make a play to move the chains. So I guess here's the question off of that then, right? We both are holding out right now. DK 2 years younger. Would you rather make a move, and we're going to drop this poll in the chat as well. Would you rather make a move on a Terry McLaurin or a DK Metcalf? And I think Terry is a better wide receiver.
I think that first of all, I'm taking calls on both. I'm taking calls on both. I would say as far as I would say as far as getting separated, like they're both here. They're both here. I feel like Terry is kind of slept on because he's been in Washington.
Terry's in a very similar situation to what Darnell Mooney is in. Terry's in a situation where like mugs are like, Terry McLaurin is nice, but he ain't all that. He's not a number one.
They tripping on that.
That man has had like very mid quarterbacks throwing him the ball.
Hey, and a couple of 1,000-yard seasons with freaking Taylor Heineke and one game of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
So
like I look at to me, I would be more intrigued by a Terry McLaurin, right? Because I feel like I can get him for less.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he can give me still like not the same type of production, but still top tier production. And I think next to Darnell Mooney, that's a deadly combo because you're literally going to have to look at that combo the entire time and be like, who's this ball going to? With DK, right? DK's like DK can hit you for the little 5-yard slant unless the zone is there and the linebacker's playing up and he puts his hand in front of the ball.
But he can outrun.
See, in zone he struggles. He just does.
The only reason why I would give like the only reason why I would give DK the edge, right, is because you got that red zone target, but at the same time you got Komet. So it's like,
do we have a red zone target in Komet? That's my question. Komet is the.
Hey man, I'm not saying nothing until I gotta see it week one,
bro. Week one. I gotta see it
week one.
I just need to see it, bro. I just need him in the end zone catching passes. That's my problem with Cole Kmet, bro. Hey, Cole Kmet can catch the ball in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 10-10, Cole Kmet got hands. In that red zone, oh boy, he dropped a lot of touchdowns. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I
don't know. It's difficult because they both kind of do the same thing.
And here's the part for me, right? Because Terry McLaurin, I think you're giving up less draft capital. You're not giving up a 1 for Terry. I'm not giving up a first round pick for Terry. Right now, you're probably giving up a
No
first round pick
first?
for DK. I'm not giving up a first round pick for Terry. Give you a
Oh,
second.
God.
Probably get a second, maybe a second next year, and probably a what would you say? A second next year, and probably maybe a second in 2024. I'm not giving up a first for Terry though. 26 years old.
Man, I don't know.
Hasn't shown me oh my god numbers yet. But that works to the team's advantage. That's why I really like Terry McLaurin, because I think here's the thing, right? Can I go get a big body receiver in the draft next season that's going to be able to be that over the top tall guy, 50-50 ball guy? If I have a first round pick, I'd say yeah. You know why? Because I keep seeing that guy get drafted. I'll bet we get one this year.
So
I'll bet there's somebody in the NFL draft this year that's going to be able to be the big body go get it guy.
So with Terry, 2019, when he came in, he almost had a 1,000-yard season. 919,
Yep.
16 yards a catch. 2020 over 1118 is what he had. 2021, also 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Mid QBs.
62% catch radius, 64% catch radius, 59% catch radius, and almost a first down to target.
Yeah. I'm with
Almost a first down to target.
I'm
So
with
then,
it. And much cheaper. Terry McLaurin's probably getting 15 mil. 15 to 17 mil, I would say, for Terry McLaurin, right?
yeah,
That's money I can use on the rest of the offense.
okay. So DK's when he came in,
And this
900
isn't just
yards.
Bears. This isn't just a Bears breakdown. This is just in general to me, right? Like, what wide receiver would you rather have moving forward? If I'm a team, I'm looking at Terry McLaurin before I call about DK, because I know what the price on DK is.
7 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, and 12 touchdowns. About 56 yards a game last season. 58, 64, and 58 respectfully in terms of like percentage of catches. But almost a first down to target.
And this is a good comment here. I like this by Tail. He says, Terry got shut down by Trayvon Diggs. We asked who will win the matchup against DK Metcalf versus Trayvon Diggs. Here's the
Oh,
thing.
so I got that right. So like
Trayvon Diggs wasn't on DK Metcalf.
Hey, first of all, Trayvon wasn't on DK. That's one. Two, when you got Michael Parsons in there, with no quarterback, legitimately, and I'm just sitting up here throwing it up just because I got time.
Yeah, they make it easy.
I mean that's gonna happen. See, everybody want to bring up Trayvon Diggs, but don't think about the 1,100 yards or 1,200 yards that man also gave up.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs be getting cooked.
Even though he had them even though he had 8 picks. I mean that's cool.
I mean no, it's good. It's good, but
like, didn't you? I mean, what you won that? They lost first round because didn't they play San Fran?
They lost first round. Yeah, they lost.
Yeah. He got cooked by Debo.
Yeah. No, and I think the thing is, right, like, it's very situational to say, like, oh, Terry McLaurin got cooked by Trayvon Diggs. Terry McLaurin also didn't have he had Tyler Heineke thrown to him. You know what I mean? Like, listen, there's a lot of ducks in there. So it's not a slight one way or the other. And listen, I don't want it to come off like I'm saying that either one of these guys is a bad player. Like, listen, we're talking about a tale of two stars here in the NFL, and DK Metcalf trying to be a superstar if he can go to a team that can get some jewelry with that mug. But I think that the biggest thing for me with DK over Terry is it comes with price tag, right? Like, listen, for me, there's questions on there's no questions on DK's size. There's no questions on DK's footwork. But you're talking about a 5-year deal. He'll be 29 by the end of it. A 4-year deal probably. He'll be 28 by the end of it. At $20 million a year, or I might be able to go get Terry on that same deal for 15 to 17 mil a year. Because he wants a contract, which is wild, right? It's so wild to me that the Washington isn't trying to keep Terry because of the price tag that he's going to command. Because he literally just says, I want to be paid like comparable receivers. The comparable receivers are some of the receivers are in the range of $12 million a year. What are y'all doing?
It's just funny to me because they come out and be like, "Yo, I'm trying to compete."
Bro, with a new quarterback that's not that good, bro.
So you finna come with Curtis Samuel and the rest of the nobodies,
bro? Yeah, I mean, like,
I mean, that's the thing. In no way, shape, or form should he get Cooper Kupp money. Like
Terry's not going to be anywhere near Cooper Kupp money. But see, for me, right, that's
five. I think that's 5-120. That's 5-120.
Should DK though?
What get Cooper Kupp money?
DK should get Cooper Kupp money?
No. What?
But I mean, Cooper Kupp's clearing what? What's Cooper's contract?
I think it's 5-120 now that they updated it. Because I think he had 2 years left, right?
That's what you're talking about paying DK.
Nah,
$20 million a year, 4 to 5 years.
I'm 120, like no.
$20 million a year, 4 to 5 years on that.
Don't get it twisted. I mess with DK heavy, but it's Cooper Kupp. like there's Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, and there's everybody else. Like.
And that's what I'm saying. Like to me, Terry McLaurin, you get in a $17 million range. Somewhere around there, I think. Cooper Kupp is getting 120 over 5. Is that what what's Cooper's contract?
Yeah, they just updated
it. Cooper Kupp. Let me pull this up here. No, not stats, contract. He signed a 3 year.
3 years. It's time for an extra 80 on top of the money he just got.
Jesus Christ! He signed 3 years at 80 on top of and with a $20 million signing bonus on top of the money he's already got coming on the contract.
35 million at signing,
bro. Like.
Nah, bro. That's an average salary. Like for the next 5 years, he got an average salary of 26 mil.
And we're saying DK's close to that.
No,
that's what we talking about paying him.
Listen, Amari Cooper barely got 20.
But what I'm saying is that's what we talking about paying him. That's what, if DK comes here, DK comes at a $20 million a year contract. That's too pricey for me.
I'll ask y'all this: Is he better than Amari? Is he better than Amari Cooper?
Is DK better than Amari Cooper? No, Amari Cooper's a better route runner. DK's not a crazy route runner. DK's got that little T route. DK's T route is ridiculous.
Yeah, he got the T route.
DK's T route is ridiculous.
They don't like I was telling them when you left, like they're never gonna press him. They never press him.
No, DK's gonna eat on that T route. Hey, you go up, you figure out.
Amari barely got 20. So like I'm either putting you just under that. Or, cause after you talk Amari, now you're going into like okay, Devontae Cooper, like and it's not like I think the Browns just did that because you feel me, they already solidified the O-line. They had the money there and they had to pay somebody. So like, and they still got money left over.
I think that's a different situation, though. Yeah, I'm saying that's the Browns too. But y'all
Hey,
smoking
they
some of this.
better hope
Hey,
that worked out. I'm not gonna hold
listen.
you.
All I ask y'all to do is y'all go find me 3 routes that DK runs very well, above average, $20 million worth. Find me 3 routes. $20 million is best wide receivers.
Mind you, they don't know that we already watched the film.
I've already watched all this tape.
We
I
already
watched
watched the film.
because DK sounded like the perfect wide receiver. Huge, good hands.
If you go back and
Find me 3 routes. And I've watched every game of the Seahawks last season to find these routes. Find me 3 routes that he runs well at $20 million a year.
mind you, their offense didn't really do that good. He had what, 5 touchdowns?
I exclude all the games with Geno. Cause Geno, right? Like I'm not. That's why I'm not holding this what I'm paying him based on just this standard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not holding what I'm paying him based on just what we saw last season. But I didn't see 3 routes that DK consistently ran well. He ran that T route amazing. And it's because of everybody's fear of him going long.
I mean, he ran the slant good too.
He ran the slant good when there wasn't a zone on him.
Like
he struggled against zone.
He's going to. The reason why DK gets so open is because if you press him, he's gonna bully.
If you press him, he's gonna kill you. Like there's a reason that he's in this conversation. There's no disrespect to DK. Like he's a take the top off of you wide receiver. He's probably one of the fastest players in the NFL. But I need to be able to get you a couple of routes underneath, especially if everybody's just playing back. Yeah, no, I'm not taking nothing into account with the Geno Smith time, touchdown wise, yards wise, none of that. But I go back and I look at DK. I'm not even looking at if he scored a touchdown. I'm just looking at his routes. I'm looking at what he did versus 3-4s.
Hey, bro, y'all talking about DK is better than Amari, right? So like,
yeah, Amari had a better quarterback all year.
But even then, when he was with Derek Carr, like this man is in the high 60s. In terms of when the ball gets thrown to me, I'm catching that mess. Like last year we said that was a down year because of the system he was in, and that man still averaged 12 yards a catch with 8 touchdowns.
I think the interesting thing with Amari is a different situation, right? Because like Amari is somebody who hasn't shown up in big games. He hasn't shown up in playoffs.
That part I'll give you.
I like Amari's skill set better. Not saying that I like him as a better player. I would probably rather have DK than Amari, but because I know, well, I don't know. I haven't seen DK in a ton of big games either. But I think skill-wise, Amari's a better skill player.
You're talking about with DK?
Huh?
Have they made the playoffs?
I don't think they made the playoffs with DK. Oh, maybe
1 year.
Maybe 2019. When DK come in? 2019, right? They make the playoffs his first year? I think they made the playoffs his first year. I don't think they made it since then. Amari Cooper's not a number 1 wide receiver, like I said. Now Pat's starting to see. I mean, listen, I said he didn't show up in big games. And in the big, playoff games. Like, I wouldn't have paid Amari Cooper what Amari Cooper got paid. But we're talking about paying DK in Cooper Cup range. 2020. Shout out to King Rodney. We're talking about playing DK in Cooper Cup range. Like, listen to what we like 120 over 5 is what he's gonna get at a minimum. And somebody's gonna pay it to him. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, what I always tell y'all.
Somebody's gonna pay it to him.
What I say?
I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say it's a full born every day, right? Because like DK is also a good player. That's what like when we have these conversations, I feel like a lot of people look at it and be like, "Oh, you saying that he sucks?" No, I didn't say that DK Metcalf sucks. But I'm also not trying to tie a good chunk of my cap into somebody that I have questions on being my third down guy because they didn't go to him for third down. That I have questions on his route running ability. Because I watched him basically not run routes that way. You know what I mean? Like, that's my question marks on it. Can I give him Cooper Kupp money? I can't. I don't have it in me. And it's not, and I see Levante, he said that's small market thinking. No. If we were where the Rams were, pay them. But we're committing 120, possibly more than that, to a dude where we don't know if we've got an offensive line yet. We don't know if we've got an offensive line yet. We don't know if we've got our run blocking set, our pass blocking set. If Justin Fields is going to be able to stand up long enough to get the ball to DK Metcalf. There's more holes that the Bears have before they can start doing the creative marketing that bigger market teams are doing. When we get to that point, yeah, I'm all for it. Like legit, there's a difference in adding somebody to a team that's already a good team and you need to add a little garnish to it. We ain't got the meal on the plate yet. That's the difference. If I'm sprinkling a little something on top, you know what I'm saying? You know, when we had some, wife made some beautiful pasta yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was delicious shrimp pasta. You know, I did with a little Parmesan on top. Little Parmesan on top. Top it off, you know what I'm saying? Just a little something, get it smooth, get you, yeah, a little something.
Little je ne sais quoi.
Little je ne sais quoi in that mud, you know what I'm saying? We cultured in this mud. But
we Steve-O.
No, for real. Like that's what I'm saying.
We just turned the pot on.
We just turned the pot on. The water ain't even boiling yet. We ain't got the meal on the plate yet.
That's a bar.
We talking about adding je ne sais quoi. We ain't even got the meal on the plate yet. Yeah, I mean, so like for me, that's my biggest question mark when we're talking about going out and getting a $20 million dude. Don't just throw money at guys just because the teams that win, usually they got a nice mix of veterans and young guys. They got a nice mix of draft history. They've got a nice mix. Like the Rams is the anomaly. I don't even know how they're doing it. By the way, they're going to have an epic hey, when their price comes, when the Piper comes time knocking on their door, they are gonna have an epic collapse. It's gonna be like, hey man, we won -3 games this year.
And hey, I mean, it looked nice right now. I mean, that was a nice retool with Allen Robinson, Bobby Wagner. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, they re-upped on it. I love it. I like that they're doing it the way. I like that the Rams are doing it that way because I want to see where it gets to. And I would rather have, right, like a long term of winning in recent history to look back on and then go through a drought or just a continuous drought. I'm fine with spending money, and the Bears have spent money. I'm not. I whenever Mels are like Chicago's cheap, they don't spend money. No, we spend money. It's just at times we spend money in the wrong places. But on top of that, I'm not gonna just throw cheese on a plate with no food to put the cheese on.
Hey, that's the meal. Two pieces of bread and cheese.
You know what I mean?
That
Do we want a feast or we want a ham sandwich? That's the question. Do you want a full on course or you want a ham sandwich?
you get one slice of ham right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a process. It's about building a team, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I like DK, and the reason I asked the question, who would you rather have, Terry or DK? I like DK as a player. I like Terry's skill set more, and Terry's cheaper. I'm gonna go with the dude whose skill set I think is better, and he's cheaper.
That's
what it is.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
For me anyway. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. As we get to the halfway point here, we're gonna take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back on the other side. Like I'm gonna give them like 4 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But on the other side, interesting topics that we want to break down. Let me pull up the notes here, right here, bang, 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 right here. This is a topic to me. Are we seeing leagues that have been here forever losing their grip? Did y'all see what's going on with the PGA and LIV? We're not going to go too deep into golf with it, but like major leagues are losing their grip with the new world. Also, going to get into some NBA Finals preview and, of course, the random question of the day. Tweet us your random questions during the break. Tweet them at Pat the Designer, at the WC Breeze, hashtag it QTOD. We'll see y'all on the other side. The CP slander comes in to me when people hold him in too high regard just for numbers.
What's too high regard?
People put him above a lot of point guards that have had a lot of success in the NBA because of his numbers. People put him above Isaiah Thomas. He's not above Isaiah Thomas for me in any means of the stretch. In any stretch of the imagination.
I could make a case that he's better than Isaiah Thomas.
I mean, is he more successful than Isaiah Thomas?
Depends
like at the end of the day, for me, at the end of the day,
championship-wise, no. Everything else, Chris Paul beats Isaiah.
But it's again, this is why I don't compare eras.
Maybe scoring?
No, this is why probably not even that. This is why I don't compare eras, right? Because we know for a fact that when Isaiah wasn't hooping on the Pistons, Isaiah played basketball completely different. So you probably never really got to see Isaiah cook the way he could because you got to play a system.
Well, I'm not finna. Okay, let's look at this. 12-time All-Star. Okay, cool. All-Star his entire career, basically. 2-time NBA champ. We know that. Finals MVP. We know that. If Chris Paul had won, he'd be a Finals MVP.
On one leg. I don't know about that one. Book was cooking that mud too. Book did sell it though. I didn't tell you that.
Book sold. Big sold. 5-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Star MVP, and 1-time assist champ. The only thing that stands out to me realistically is the Finals MVP and 2-time NBA champion. Now, I'm not trying to make light of that.
They would stand out.
I'm not trying to make light of that. That's ultimately why we play, or why they play. Right? It's ultimately why we watch them play, to see who's going to win the championship. That's the ultimate goal for any NBA player, to win a championship. Now, if you want to sit there and consider his entire body of work, I mean, six-time steal champ, 4-time assist champ, 11-time All MVP, Rookie of the Year, 9-time All Defensive, 12-time All-Stars, where he also has an All-Star MVP, and he's also part of the NBA top 75 players have ever played, just like Isaiah Thomas. The only thing that's missing for him is a, championship and a Finals MVP. But outside of that, he's accomplished more, and he was accomplishing more than Isaiah Thomas.
I don't know, dog. Isaiah Thomas is the only point guard like that we've ever seen win. Leading a team?
Yeah, okay, let's no, because Magic led a team.
He's
Magic
not.
led. He's a
Magic is
point guard.
Magic is 6'10". That's
What
why I
point
said the only point
Oh,
guard like
small. We're
that.
talking about small guys. You know,
Smaller
I
point guard.
moved the goalpost. You're right.
Yeah,
I moved the
smaller point-
goalpost.
He's the only point guard like that we've ever seen win. And that was like the leader. Like you think about it, right? Like think about it. It's literally IT, Chris Paul. No, IT, AI, Chris Paul,
Jason Kidd.
Derrick Rose.
Jason Kidd.
J Kidd had Vince. But yeah, I guess J Kidd kind of
Kidd went to the finals twice before
Vince.
he got to the Dallas.
Yeah, with Vince though. J Kidd had Vince with him. And
I mean,
Vince
you can't. No. That we can't do that one. Now, that we can't do because Isaiah didn't have it.
J Kidd was the leader of that.
I would say so.
I'm just talking about the leader of the team being like.
I would say so because
J Kidd was the leader over Vince.
I would say so.
Okay, so we talk about 30 years. We talk about 5 dudes of that size that led their team far into the playoffs. Like there's not many, and then after that, you start to see them dudes come in.
I'm not because this is gonna sound stupid. Some old heads gonna be like, he don't know what he's talking about. I just want to word it correctly.
Welcome back to the show. What's going on, man? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us. Hour 1 had some dope conversation, Bears conversation, talking about what to expect from mandatory minicamp, where we think this team is going to be going, kind of, and then who would be somebody that they could go get. And you just saw the clip from the Views from the Bleachers podcast. Me and Kid going to be doing that every week over on the Patreon. So if you haven't signed up for that, check the link in the description below. You guys are getting more content, more Pat the Designer, more P Kid. Tune in with us on that as well, because we're going to be dropping that weekly. Also on the Patreon, there's going to be a ton more exclusive content, more access to me. I'm probably going to be doing a weekly Q&A over there for people that just kind of want to throw out, some questions to your boy and talk about, especially like the entrepreneur side of things. I know there's some people that rock with us on that. So check out the Patreon. You can sign up right now for just $2 to get all the exclusive content. And then there's 2 more tiers if you want to get like merch and different things from that side. So sign up over there on my Patreon over at Pat the Designer on Patreon. Shout out to y'all for tuning in and showing so much love, man. We appreciate y'all for showing love. If you guys are in here right now and you haven't done so already, I'm gonna just need you to do me one thing right quick and
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this mug, man. Let's keep it going, bro, because there's something. Have you seen anything with this new league out of Dubai called the Live League? You seen anything with that, Ringo? What the heck is going on over there, brother? This man got a whole YouTube video, ain't paying no attention to the show right now. Man, just
it wasn't a YouTube video. Not necessarily. I seen that it was a couple of golfers that decided to drop out of the I think it was the PGA.
Yeah, off the PGA Tour. So
yeah, which one of it? And then they went to go sign this deal. I mean, honestly, I just think it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you I think it's more to do about like there's better opportunities in certain leagues than there are in others, which is why I think you see the routes of, you see it then where it's kind of like instead of me going to college, I'll go to the G League, or you know what I'm saying, like instead of even in the case of football, like instead of me going to the NFL, like I'll go to the CFL or the USFL, which by the way, I didn't even know that was still
Bro,
going
I
on.
don't know what
Dog,
week they on in that.
like I legit I scrolled through TikTok and I seen somebody streaming the game. I'm just like, this is
Bro, we probably could live stream that mug like and not get flagged for it. Like we probably could just stream the whole game and not get flagged.
You see but you
We
even
should
see it
test
with
that.
like
We should test that.
soccer and everything like
Hey,
that. So I
we
think
should
it's just
start.
my
We should start a whole different channel and just test that and see if we could get like full USFL games on a whole nother channel and just be like
full USFL highlights.
all of a sudden The Rock just shows up and rock bottoms us and takes his money back.
We definitely like.
But here's my
But
question, right?
other
Because
than that though,
here's my question, right? Because
it's just more opportunities. It's just more opportunities.
But here's my question, Ritter, right? Because they took some major golfers away, and this is not going to turn into a let's break down golf on this show. Like that's never going to be this show. But it's they took away some major names from the PGA. Now there's still some names that are there. Of course, Rory McIlroy hasn't gone over yet. There hasn't been that oh my god name going to live yet, although Phil Mickelson did go, but they're throwing the bag at these guys. Phil Mickelson is making more on this tournament, I believe, than he's made in the last 5 years on PGA. There's people going over there signing for more money on the PGA or on this live tour than Tiger Woods has made in his entire career in PGA, just getting paid from the PGA. Of course, he's got endorsements.
Hey, shout out to Tiger. He a Billy now.
Yeah, Tiger's killing the game. But just money from PGA.
Right.
So this is my question. Are we getting to a time as the pettiest man alive joins the building? That's a nice shirt, bro.
Yo, what's going on, my guy?
What's going on?
Are we getting to a point where now other leagues can come in and get a grip on the market that we thought was untouchable? What I mean by that, USFL and football, of course, it's not taking off like we thought it was. NFL will probably always be a beast in that, but a different basketball league. I think if the NBA really wanted to, they could end college basketball's reign right now. Not to say college basketball would stop, but if the NBA
by the way, I
I
forgot to mention Big Three as well.
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. But if the NBA put the G League on TV, I think more people would go to the G League. If it was on like major like ESPN1, I think more people would go to the G League. If I think we're coming to a point now where there's so much content that some of these top leagues are losing their grip on what was a dominated market. I think, listen, if anybody started a different baseball league with better rules, you probably would see that league take off more than Major League Baseball.
Going back to your point about the live golf tournament, I think what they're doing there is really genius, to be honest with you.
Hey, that's that Saudi money, baby.
I mean, they're paying out nearly 60% of their revenue to the players, which they should.
Yeah.
Because now, you have to think about it. The purses are higher. The players are going to play because they want the higher purse. And so the way that it breaks down, you're going to get really competitive golf. And so it's no different than what you see happen in the tech industry. Big companies are throwing huge bags at top talent for them to come work with them because they just want to further innovation. It's no different than what you see in any other sport. But I think this is the first time we've seen it in golf. I think just being our generation, the age of disruption, we're going to see a lot of this.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of people not go through the traditional avenues to make money and chase their passions. And we should embrace it. We really should. What we're doing is a break from the norm, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We wouldn't have been able to do this and have a platform with 13, 14,000 people following us 20 years ago.
No, because there wouldn't have been a way for you to get it on air without going through the big markets. And the interesting thing, I think the part that most intrigues me about it is that Granted, the big names in golf haven't gone yet, but when you throw that much money at something, I'm gonna see what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna take a peek, and just a peek sometimes is all you need to turn. Listen, people peeked at the big three because it was different, it was new, it was something that you weren't expecting to see. I guarantee, and the reason why, like, I think Jamar said, like, he doesn't see the NBA going anywhere. The NBA has been around for 75 years, and the NBA is not the best league that there was. The NBA bought the best league.
The ABA.
The ABA was the best league. It was the most entertaining league. It was the league that everybody was drawn to.
That's where Dr. J came from. That's where.
How much change? I
There's
mean,
a
in
good 8 teams now, of which 6 of them have been consistently good.
yeah,
I think.
in 75 years, we've seen so much change in the NBA. I can't say that a rival league wouldn't be able to pop up and do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the NBL might be getting close to that. Now, I don't think they have enough games or enough big names there yet. But there's a lot of people that the NBA is taking from the NBL. All it takes is one outer worldly player from here going there.
You said, what's the name? NBL?
The NBL.
NBL.
That's where Melo came from. It's like probably second best league.
Yeah, that's where
Australia.
Melo came from. That's where Luka came from.
Luka came from over there.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of people.
And right now,
honestly,
all the allure.
To Jamar's point, right? I'm looking at. I don't think that. I don't think that the NCAA will like die off completely, but I think you will see it. You will see it slow down to the point that later on, that I will say like 5 to maybe 10 years down the road, you don't see, like, when the NCAA tournament comes around, you don't see like those big brand name stars going. You're gonna get the Jonathan Kumingas and everybody else from the G League, because I think that NCAA still has that appeal of, hey, I've always wanted to suit up and play for Duke. I've always wanted to suit up and play for North Carolina, you know, so on and so forth. So I don't think that it will completely die off. I do think you will see it slow down just because of the opportunities and the NIL opportunities that you see.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the MLB, I think that somebody could come out with a new league. I think that once they come out with a new league, I think you'll see a lot of the younger fans gravitate towards it, which will that'll make that league explode. Because right now, it's like me and Pat always say, especially with MLB, like you got a lot of dudes that's in their 50s, 60s, 70s that, you know, the game was played this way, and I wanted to stay here. So I think that if somebody branched off and made another league strictly for the younger fans, that would get way more exposure than the MLB. And this to this last point, the reason why I would is because the same way we talk about the WNBA marketing their stars, I guarantee you that league would be able to market their stars expeditiously faster than the MLB has ever done with a Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, or whatever, or whoever you want to bring up.
Yeah, MLB's
done a bold statement.
MLB's done a terrible job. I'll tell you this right now, right? You couldn't pick Mike Trout out of a crowd.
I can't now. You keep saying it.
You couldn't pick Shohei Ohtani out of a crowd.
I can now because you keep talking about it. Like all these people you kept saying I can't pick out a crowd. I'm like, what do these people look like? All right, I gotta understand what they look like.
But think about it, right? You had to go figure that out.
That's true.
There's some grandmother in Iowa right now that would see LeBron James coming down on a tractor and be like, "What's LeBron doing on that tractor there?"
But then again, that same grandmother would see another 6'8" black guy and be like, "That's LeBron."
What's
James.
LeBron doing on that tractor?
I mean, like, you know,
is that Cordero Patterson? No,
but I'll say this: the NBA. I tell you, this is pro NBA talk now. The NBA would never be in a situation where they wouldn't be the most dominant league. because they're too innovative. Think about what we just said. They bought the ABA.
No, yeah. I think the NBA is ahead of its time with it. I think they stay ahead of it. But the thing is, right, like where the NBA is heading, where at least where I think Adam Silver's vision is based on a lot of the ideas he's coming up with, is a very football kind of league.
It's more internationally based.
More internationally based, which would mean that you could have players be now in the NBA, they better never use this term, but you can sell players in a league that's 78% black. Yeah, we just sold LeBron. You did what? Run that back for me.
We still trade players.
Run that back, Turbo.
Trading cattle and lions.
It's trade, but it's just how they say it overseas, dog. When they hit sell, we just sold Cristiano Ronaldo to like. But when you talk about what the vision he's trying to put into place, you're going to have to at some point bring other leagues into that, where you're running a world tournament, where you're running, the NBA championship goes from being a world championship in America to a world championship.
Yeah. I agree.
That's where I think it's heading. That's why I think leagues like the NBL and stuff like that will start to come up. And I think that like the teams right now that you have to root for are only here. But if I got my team from Australia, or I got 6 teams from Australia, Australians ain't going to be rooting for the Chicago Bulls as hard.
Maybe.
I'll say this too. I think Adam Silver has done an amazing job off of the string pad. When we talk about the NBL, like I feel like there's a lot more There's a lot more people that we can name in the NBL that came over, from America. Like even then, like even if for all the stuff that went on with like the Ball family with the TV show, with the TV show and everything like that. Muggs, like Melo got fans that probably don't even watch ball, but it's a whole lot of international Hornets fans now. Just cause. So then you factor that in, you factor that Luka comes over, and there's honestly gonna be a lot more, because I think that he knew that he had to put that type of spotlight on on that side of the game, and that's the reason why these international players, there's like more international players, being drafted, so Muggs can stop making a comment like, "Hey guys, that Nikola Jokic was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial."
That's a wild one. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was. Hey, you don't even get to see him cross the stage, bro.
Like the way that he's expanded the game, it's better for everybody, and I think that all the leagues should take notes. To be honest,
let me ask you this. Is say the NBA, because I don't know what it is. I believe it's the EPL. I believe it's the EPL for soccer or football, depending on where you at. That's like the pinnacle league. I think that's the number one football. I think that's the number one league you can be in, right? But there's all these leagues beneath it that you try to get to, you try to move to, you can get relegated up and down, which if they bring relegation into the NBA, wild. But here's the question that I have. Maybe you think that the NBL is more on par with the G League. Or, kind of like these are where these guys all play, and then they go to the NBA. Could you see something like that where I think that's a bigger thing to kill, for me, anything to kill NCAA. But I think that would take away from players choosing college over NBA if you had something like that, where there's a tournament or a league that includes the NBL, it includes the G League, it includes Spain. And I think you would see better development basketball-wise, because you're not just talking about these mugs coming out here and playing against dudes that were D1, but really wasn't that good, and so they only could get to the G League.
I think the one thing that we have to consider ultimately is none of this stuff matters from a business standpoint Well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work from a business standpoint. Is it
Yeah.
going to be profitable? Is the viewership going to be there? And frankly, if the viewership was there already for a lot of these leagues, they'd be more popular. So
Well,
everything
I
that you
mean,
see kind of has to start top down. Like it has to
yes and
start with
no.
the NBA.
NBL is tough because it's on a whole different time zone. So, like, for us to watch an NBL game live, we'd have to be up at 3:00 in the morning.
But we are still the standard for this level of entertainment when it comes to
Agreed.
sports in basketball.
In basketball,
So
yeah.
when you think of it from that standpoint, it has to start from the NBA down. And that's what makes Adam Silver such a great commissioner, if you really think about it. Because a lot of the stuff that we've just given him credit for incorporates a lot of those international ideas. Think about all the games that we're starting to play internationally. Thinking about all the leagues, how the NBA has funded those different things in Africa, those different initiatives in Africa and things of that nature. I mean, you could look at it from you know, negative lens and say, oh, they're just trying to source talent from there. Or you can look at that as like they're just not trying to die off and instead of innovating and spreading their influence. Because ultimately, if the NBA, the National Basketball Association, the world's greatest league comes to your country and starts to create these opportunities, guess what I just now gained? I gained all your family and friends watching my game.
Yep.
But it's real development. They're providing real opportunities. It has to start from that standpoint and then incorporate. I don't think another league could just pop up and be like, hey, unless they just start throwing around big bags like Liv does. Like Liv only has Phil Mickelson because he's getting paid $200 million.
Stupid money. You know what I'm saying? Stupid money.
You
But
pay somebody like, let's think about it like this. There's A-list NBA players and there's B-list NBA players and there's C-list NBA players. You get somebody in the B-C list that can garner some attention, you pay them $200 million. Yeah, they'll go over there.
But this the thing. There's teams that are starting to be able to do that now. There's teams that are starting to be able to throw the bag at these mugs because they have the viewership money, because they have the people that's sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen players go like Nico Mirotic went back home because he was getting better offers back home. Like, Nico's clearing like, I think he's getting like 14, 15 million dollars a year to play back in Spain and be like the best player there. Versus in the NBA, they were like, hey, bro, we ain't giving you that. So, like, not to say that that's equal, but I think teams are getting to a point now, and basketball is getting to a popular point where you can kind of start to say, oh, yeah, some of these mugs going to be able to, and there's that flip. You just had to throw that jab in there.
No, I'm weak.
Some teams start to be like, yeah, we'll throw you the bag. We'll pay you what you want to come here. Somebody's going to get to the point as basketball keeps going where they're going to come to a player. It's not going to be LeBron because LeBron will be out the league by then, but where they're going to come to one of the better players and be like, they're not going to give you $100 million deal. We'll give you $100 million deal right now. Come play for our team.
LeBron is going to be pivotal in the next moves for the NBA. He's going to get a team. LeBron is going to get a team. I promise you he is.
I know Brian's going to get a team because Brian is still, I don't know if competing is the right word, because like I think the only people that put Brian against Jordan are outside of the league, because Brian don't put Brian against Jordan. Like, Brian be like, no, I wanted to be Mike. So I think like, because he sees how Mike moves, Brian's gonna want a team, and and let's be real, that would be his only way of competing with Jordan. That would be the only way that him and Jordan could be at the same place and compete.
Because I think too,
I do think he'll get in on the Vegas team.
I think too, Bron would want to do it in a faster time frame than Mike did. Just
Mike came back and played for a stake.
Mike literally retired. It was like ownership in the Wizards. It was like, I think I'm a better player than owner.
Just like,
it's a different world.
My team's gonna be better. But you know what though, going back to the whole opportunity thing, you know, I kind of liken it to I'm kind of with Pat on that from this standpoint. I look at this conversation and I look at it a lot like Vince McMahon, right? Because it was like when it was going through the whole like WWF and all this other thing, he actually bought Monday Night Nitro.
Yeah.
He bought it, and then later on, equipped all this talent, which that gets the fan base, and then even now, he's doing it in certain aspects where it's like, if I just bring this one dude over, like for the next 6 months,
Yeah.
we're the hottest thing on TV. Like
Man, that's really what it was.
we're
was
legitimately
literally
the hottest thing on TV. He's just
bought
done
a
it with
business. Who'd he have?
he just did it with Cody Rhodes.
Well, he did do that. But who'd he get from it though? From Monday Night Nitro? It was
No,
was it men?
he equipped the whole roster, but it was
He
like
got the roster and then like got rid of half of
he got rid of half of them.
them.
He was like, "You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're out of here." But he got like Booker T. He got a whole bunch of dudes.
I think we're to a point now where we can never say that a league is going to have a foothold forever. The NBA, I think, adapts well enough.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is kind of still king, but it's more so because only Americans look at football. Only Americans really look at football and be like, I want to watch football. Like other countries, they're trying to go international, but it's just not working the way that they want it to.
Pat, I guess we got breaking news.
I saw it, but are we really counting this? Should I play the sounder on this? Is this sounder worthy, bro?
I mean, you have to think of it this way.
All right, hold on. I'll play the sounder. Here we go. We got breaking news. Hold on. Oh, it didn't play. Hold on. Give it a sec.
Don't worry about it.
We got breaking news.
It's not that exciting, but it is exciting. I mean, Denver's trading Jermichael Green and a protected 2027 first round pick to Oklahoma City. How many picks these dudes got?
All of them.
For the 30th pick in this month's NBA draft and 2 future second round picks. The Nuggets now have the number 21 and 30th pick in this draft, and the Thunder have 2, 12, and 34.
They got a lot of picks.
First off, all right, listen. I love what OKC is doing, but you know what it's like? It's like the person who gets a small bag and they should be investing in it's like trying to be a YouTuber, but you don't want to invest in your equipment. You don't want to invest in, you don't want to buy a mic. You don't want to get a new camera. You don't want to get lights.
No, it's not like that.
You don't want to change your setup at all.
No, it's not like that. It's like you have this money to go towards that, and every time you go to buy it, somebody be like, "Hey, let me get that." Dog.
Man, if they don't go ahead and turn it and flip this into a dynasty, bro.
I'm gonna say this, right? Great move by Denver.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a great move by OKC.
Picks adding, good move by OKC. But
if y'all realize that the OKC could sit there and be like, you know what, we tired of sucking. We got like 17 picks, a lot of them in the first round.
But that's
who
why
y'all want to give up.
That's why I said great move by Denver, right? Because picks mean more for Denver. They got a generational player already. They got a star. They got their guy already. We need to put pieces around him that at a minimum gonna be healthy. So that means we need to start getting some dudes in here that can do that. Even if this is a get the picks, flip the picks kind of deal, it's still a good move because you feel like you're getting something in there that's gonna help Jokic. On OKC side, you got back a nice player. But I'm sorry, bro. Y'all got too many picks to still be trying to build through the draft. The process doesn't work. Tanking doesn't work.
Pat. Before this trade happened, the OKC has a remarkable 38 picks over the next couple year drafts. They have 19 first round picks. In 19 second round picks.
Trade them.
What the heck are you gonna do with 19 first round picks?
And this is
they might as well just look into college and be like, hey, all these players here, we just take them. So just take all these young players and just have a building team. Like, it's just wild. First off, that's like having all the jokers and aces in your hand and just sitting on them in a game of beard or spade, depending on what you play. I mean, like, they're just literally sitting on all these picks. And if they don't start moving these picks around, good Lord.
Bro, you got to trade them, bro. It makes no sense to me.
Steve, well, they can make 5 new teams if you really count it.
Bro,
With the players they have and the picks they have, they can create 5 new teams.
It makes no sense to me.
Bro.
Here's the thing. You need one. You need one. You need
Start lineup.
one of those. Like, I'm not saying, right? Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying you just start trading them off for anything. Like, but where you got a pick at this season, trade that for a major player.
Man,
Because guess what? You still got a pick next season.
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. To me, I feel like they already found that piece. Josh Giddey is gonna be
Josh Giddey still gotta develop.
like that. That's their guy. But I'm all
Josh Giddey still gotta develop.
They got to trade for somebody. Because
you know what's the worst thing about a young team?
19 first round picks, dog.
But here's the problem. And this is what no one ever comments on or says. You have to have good vets on your team to help with your development. Otherwise, you just got a bunch of young, hungry players, which is cool. But guess what? James Harden didn't become James Harden until he left. Russ really wasn't Russ until he was by himself. And KD really wasn't KD until, well, KD been KD since KD was KD. KD been cooking since he was born.
But again, right? Like you
y'all don't pay me to brush my hair. Y'all pay me to hoop.
But you got to think about it like that, right? Like you need that pick if you're sitting there looking at in this year's draft somebody coming out and being Anthony Edwards. Is Anthony Edwards in this year's draft?
No.
You ain't even got a cat in this year's draft. You don't even have like they're the top.
I don't know if you ain't got a cat because cats have to develop. Cat have to develop.
Is Chet about to be the next best player in the NBA? Like that's the level of talent at this point in the NBA that I'm holding on to 19 picks for. Like I got to be looking at a kid right now in high school. I got to be looking at Zion Williamson freshman year.
I will say this though, Chet is very eerie similar to Evan Mobley.
You named a guy who's been on the bench, like
Evan Mobley.
Starter.
Okay.
Evan Mobley got Rookie of the Year, but this is
I don't know why I'm thinking about somebody else.
Scotty Barnes.
But this is the thing. While I love Evan Mobley ain't the big man on that team that we was talking about making that engine go. We were talking about 7-year player Jared Allen.
Hey, and you can make that case because that was coming for the number 1 seed before he got hurt.
Hey, and also, when did Cleveland start looking good? When Darius Garland got to year 3, and they had 5-year Lauri Markkanen and
I'm packaging
6-year Jared Allen
right now. I'm packaging all 3 of these picks right now if I'm OKC. This is legit because I just read it. This is legit. 2, 12, and 34. I'm packaging these picks right now for some. I'm packaging these picks right now. You know,
I got it.
They bottomed out too much. That's the problem. They bottomed out too much. You're not. I'm giving you. You want to
trade.
No, you can. They can trade what they want to trade, right? But here's the thing.
No, it's a limit to how many picks you can trade, right?
Not if it happens in the draft. Not if it happens during the draft.
I gotta look that. I think Hayes would know. Hayes, where you at?
But here's the thing, right? You have to be able to go get a superstar and keep them. That's why Muggs draft these players because they like, well, he'll be growing up in our system. He'll want to stay here. You have to be able to go get these players and keep them. So what player want to stay in OKC, right? That's why I say tanking don't work because let's say I get this guy. If I don't get this guy help within this time frame, he's going to want to leave.
I'm gonna say this: if
I take these 3 picks this year and I go get who's a young superstar, Anthony Edwards or Ja Morant,
Anthony Simons. If it was me, I'm packaging all 3 of them picks up because I got 19 of them. Sabonis
is just
and
the
Anthony
first
Simons
rounders.
and Josh Giddey.
They
I
could just
agree.
give up picks and money for actual solid players.
Anthony
I agree
Simons
with you,
and
right?
Sabonis.
But they bottomed out so much that there's nothing there that people are gonna want to stick around for. You already in. That's the new small market, right? Small market used to be you can't pay nobody. Now you gotta like people will go to small markets now, but you gotta have a team there that's worth playing for.
Hot take. I'd give all 3 of these picks right now in cash for AD.
That'll be done.
Hey, here's the thing.
Hey,
Y'all want to play? Hey, never play me
no,
in Monopoly
hey,
because you'll lose.
look,
That's horrible.
that's just a bad move because AD going for one first round pick for most teams. You just giving up first round picks at this point.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. It's all about who needs a deal. Lakers need a deal. They have no picks. So you need a deal. I'm willing to give you a
Hey,
deal. I
now,
got all
Tails,
the picks you need.
That's a conversation.
That because
That's
see
a
this
conversation.
the thing though. I hear what you're saying.
If I'm OKC, I make
But
the
if
I
I'm
make
okay,
that, I
see,
make
I'm
Tails
not
trade
finna
right
give the
there.
Lakers another chance to go get a chip.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
I wouldn't help the
Tails,
Lakers
that's
out.
a good one for Aiden.
I'm not
Aiden, you
finna
get to
give
be
the
your
Lakers
own
another
man.
chance
You
to
get
go
to
get a
rock
chip.
out. I got a young core with you. You
Yeah.
got finals
Yep.
experience. You got playoff experience.
I
Hey,
would
I
do
need a
that.
big man. Guess what?
I would do
Come
that.
post up in the paint. Give me your 22 and 10. I'm gonna
I would
slide.
do
I'm
that.
gonna slide the Phoenix Suns 3 picks. Guess what? Because the Phoenix Suns need picks.
That's
They
a
need
deal.
picks.
So
That's a
so
deal.
is
And I'm gonna be real with you.
Is
It
Josh
might not
Giddey
even
saying?
it might not even cost you. Like you might honestly, right? Like you go get Ayton, you might not have to go get Dame. Now you might, but Shea and Giddey are gonna be really good players in the NBA. Like, but you need somebody that's going to play well now. They got too many picks. Everybody you're gonna go get is gonna be, we'll see. Guess what? Your team right now is, we'll see.
Toronto needs picks. Guess what? Come on with it. I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm your pusher, man. Don't worry about it. I got you.
It's crazy.
Give me this.
Bro.
Give me this. Oh, listen, if I'm OKC, I'm playing with house money too. I already suck.
It's crazy.
Dog, I already suck. What I'm gonna do?
You want what
Bro,
you need.
I
Got
keep
them picks
telling
and
I'm
money.
your pusher.
Y'all don't understand when you have nothing to lose. Right now, OKC has nothing to lose. Are you checking for OKC?
Bro, I'm not
You
checking
check.
for
Hey, what
okay.
they jerseys look like? What they new swing city edition
Their
jerseys look
jerseys
like?
do
Y'all
be
know?
cold. I cop an OKC jersey if it
I
was
would cop
anybody worth
OKC
out.
jersey, but it's gonna be the Durant jersey. With
Yeah,
the new
right.
logo
Yeah, I'm
on it.
saying
You know
I'm
what
gonna
saying?
get on.
That's what it's gonna be. Hey, come on, y'all
still making that Durant version on that. I got to put my own name on the back.
If y'all want to sit there and play armchair GM, go to OKC, look at all the picks they got, and just play around on a trade machine to see what happened. There's a trade machine that let you trade picks.
Hey.
Go ahead and see what happened.
Hey, if I'm the Bulls and Zach want out, that's where I send them. I can flip them picks right away. This my list of players. All right. Hey, so I got 3 first-round picks to do something with. What y'all want to do with it? Hey, bro, I'm not sending you.
Oh God, I send Zach LaVine straight to Washington.
Hey, they talk about Bradley Beal might not want to be in Washington. I'm like, dog, how bad your situation gotta be?
An interview with Taylor Rex?
I saw the interview.
Hey, bro, how bad your situation got to be that you don't want $257 million?
Horrible.
It's the amount of years y'all not understanding. It's the years and the taxes. Depending on where he go, the years and the taxes matter.
Yeah, but he still can only get 4 years anywhere else.
But that's what you're not understanding. So here's the play if he leaves is I can get 2 max contracts in the same time frame where I may only get 1, depending on how I shape up. So it's a true bet on yourself thing, but it's a bet on yourself thing with 180 million behind it, which is totally different than like a Dennis Schroeder who was like a bet on yourself and fumbled the bag. Like it's a totally different bet. So
I don't
4
think,
years,
I don't think
180.
drop down. What's his drop down?
4 years, 180 is still was it still
no, I think his
slightly under 60 a year.
I think his drop down is like 257 to like 164.
No, it's 179. It's his drop down. 179 is the max another team can pay him.
Hmm.
Anywhere, and it depends on what report. One report had 190. I'm going from 179 to 190. Guess what? That $10 million difference gives some wiggle room, but that's the most they could pay him.
Hey, I still
Now I
still
know
believe it.
everyone's gonna say, but it's still 60 M's. I get you, but check this out. He could sign an extension after year 2, and he's 28. Unless he just no longer is going to be Bradley Beal in the next 2 years, which is safe to say any team that will want him to be Bradley Beal for the next 2 years, right? He's going to be eligible for another max contract.
Man.
So because of that, he can sign another max extension and things of that nature. It's very possible for him to double up. And depending on where he goes, the income tax would probably even out for him, depending on where he goes. Obviously, again, that's a huge where does he go, but that's where it matches up. So when I sit there and I look at it, we have to stop saying he's giving up XYZ, because he may not be. He may actually be earning more depending on how it shapes out. He may be taking home more depending on how. That's the better way to put it. He may take home more depending on how it shapes out.
5 year.
I think that I just think that Brad, like, I like what he said in the interview, because it wasn't a definitive, like, because before it was a definitive, like, I'm gonna stay here, I don't see myself going anywhere else. So like, I'm now trying to go to like where I can win, because like I don't think it's about the money accumulated.
See that for me is lighting a fire under your team, though. Yeah, you know I'm saying, like, hey, like with Zach LaVine, right? Like, no different to me than Zach LaVine, because like Zach LaVine probably told AK when he got there, "Hey, we got to win." And guess what? AK went and got him Vooch. AK went and got him DeMar. AK went and got him Lonzo. They winning. They moving in the right direction.
I don't think he stayed, bro. I just don't. I don't think Kuzma and Porzingis move the needle.
He's really only given up one guaranteed year, in which again he's still going to be the most the highest paid person in the league.
Porzingis is never healthy enough for me to fully commit to say I'm finna be doing this. So in a couple years you're gonna have to move him.
Yeah.
And Kuzma to me ain't really. Kuzma's nice. Kuzma's nice.
Balling. Kuz finally figured out his body.
I don't think in that type of situation, Kuz moves the needle.
I think Kuz finally figured out his body. Because remember, Kuz
Nah,
came into the league at 6'8", didn't he?
Yeah.
Kuz came into the league at 6'8" and grew 3 inches. He went from being a small forward to being a big man.
Like Kuz got the same body type Banchero got.
Yeah, but Banchero's coming into the league with it.
Like
Kyle Kuzma just got this a year ago. Kuz just woke up and was like, "Hey man, these pants kind of high."
It is no mistake that the moment LeBron James entered the Los Angeles Lakers parking lot, that Kyle Kuzma's numbers went down from 18 points a game in his sophomore season to 12 points a game. And there's no mistake that the moment he left the Lakers parking lot, that they jumped back up to 17 points, right? All it was is delayed development. I had Kyle Kuzma in 2018 as better than Jason Tatum. The only thing that derailed him was the simple fact that he did not get the same type of opportunities.
He wasn't getting the same looks. They made him a big man. I keep telling, like, where you play on the court matters. Where you are on the court matters. When everybody thought doggone going to get Karis LeVert was going to be great, no, those are different looks. It's not the same looks that you're getting when you got the ball in your hands. With Kyle Kuzma, when LeBron James comes to your team, those are different looks.
Bro. I will say I will say it matters, but it was half a season.
Case in point.
Half a season of what? Him looking terrible.
Case in point.
It was half a season.
Kyle
talking about
Kuzma
for
was
Karis LeVert?
outplaying Jason Tatum for the
Yeah.
first 2 years of
He,
their
he
career.
went to the Cavs for half a year.
Hey, and couldn't figure out how to fit into any kind of offensive system. Half a season or
Well,
not.
I mean, you legit went to a system that the only team that's running what 4 bigs,
Yeah,
Steph.
and you know what they needed you to do? Knock down shots.
four bigs and 2 guys. He'll be okay.
Steph.
I think he'll be okay.
Kyle Kuzma was outplaying Jason Tatum the first 2 years of their career. That man had LeBron James come through that joint. His minutes went slightly down. His shots went down, obviously, and where he was getting his shots totally changed.
Yep.
Jason
He
Tatum
became a corner
Jason
shooter.
Tatum on that same third year exploded 23 points a game. Why? No Kyrie, no IT. You're the man now. You have to take these shots. The opportunity was vastly different.
Yeah, they turned him into a spot up shooter because you need him to be a spot up shooter on a team with LeBron.
It's not, and here's not to say that I'm not hating on Jason Tatum by no means. I like Jason Tatum. I think he needs to work on his consistency, but I like Jason Tatum. I really do. But those two were compared from the jump. They were compared from the jump. And when you remove a superstar and give your young player the keys,
well,
I mean, look at what happened with Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram had the same issue.
Kuzma was a surprise. Tatum, you expected this from. Kuzma was a surprise.
Nah, I thought Kuzma from the jump was a better player.
Nah.
Kuzma was a surprise because Kuzma spent what, 3 years in college?
Nah, that man. Yeah, nah, he spent 3.
Kuzma came in as like a junior or a senior.
Go back and look at Kuzma's second year versus Jason Tatum's second year.
But I get you. But you said that you expected more out of Kuzma. I said
I didn't expect more. I expected. Well, you have to understand. Early, they had a somewhat of a similar role. Like Jason Tatum, obviously, I can make the same case. He had Kyrie, stuff like that, right? But he didn't have LeBron walk through. So, like, if Jason Tatum had prime Paul George walk on the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum numbers are down. Why? Because Paul George is a better version of you.
Yeah.
Currently. That's what happened to Kyle Kuzma. LeBron walked in. LeBron's a better version of you. He plays the same position. He's just as tall. He has 3 rings. I mean, he's on Mount Rushmore. Like, guess what? There's a corner. Find it. I pass you the ball. Don't worry about it. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, that's what it is. You know who else is going to go through that? In my opinion, who else is going to go through that, or should have went through that? Is God dang, his name is on the tip of my tongue.
What team?
Oh my God, that is gonna sound weird. Like I can see his face. Like, good Lord. Hey, keep talking. It's gonna hit me. It's gonna hit me. Keep talking.
No, I don't know. I think Kuz was more of a surprise, and I think that we got into this off of Bradley Beal, but I think that Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma is a nasty dynamic. That pick and roll is disgusting. To me, that's a dynamic where you absolutely can get to the bucket. You have so many options off of it, and the sad part is
Simons. That's what I was thinking. That was like that's
my Anthony Simons with Dame Lillard.
They would move Dame because Simons.
Anthony Simons with Dame Lillard.
I don't think that will work. It didn't work with CJ McCollum and Dame.
It didn't work with CJ.
Yeah,
I keep telling us they finna run it back. I keep telling us they finna run it back.
It ain't no way they about to run that back.
Hey, they definitely finna run it back.
That's another case of put is why they didn't want John Wall to play. How do you let Jalen Green evolve as the player he is if you have John Wall in front of him?
Wall at the starting lineup?
You can't do it.
Hey, that's a different situation though. You shouldn't have traded for him. You paying somebody that much money, you shouldn't just be able to tell them, all right, go home. He wasn't even in the state of Houston or state of Texas, my bad.
That's a fact. He wasn't in the state.
He was back home. He was back home.
But I understand their reasoning though. I understand their reasoning. I really do.
I get it, right? But like
I really do.
You gotta I don't know. For me, that's a situation you gotta move on. Cut them, buy them out, whatever you got to do. Like you should not. There should be something where the NBA says if he's healthy, he at least has to be on the bench and a part of the team. You basically suspended John Wall for a season with pay. That's crazy.
They did the same thing with Luol Deng.
No, Luol got traded multiple times, and the teams came to an agreement with Luol saying, Luol, we can't really use you. And you look like you don't want to be used anymore. Would you like us to just kind of spread this out and pay you over like the next 10 years of your life? You got it. That's an agreement. John Wall came to Houston and said, I want to play. And Houston said, no.
Nah. But as much as we love to down them, you know what team I
walked up like he walked up like Timo Cruz. What I got to do to play?
Nah, he ain't doing all that.
I absolutely trashed the New York Knicks. Here's an interesting thing about the Knicks. No, sincerely. When you think about NBA basketball, for some odd reason, the Knicks always come up because it's New York. How do you have the mecca, supposedly, of basketball, and you ain't put a good product on the floor as long as we have? Like, we had a better product on the floor. The last time we had a decent product on the floor, Carmelo was there and it was kind of all right, but they really weren't doing nothing. You weren't you were checking for Melo. You didn't think the Knicks were going to go super far. Like, I never felt that they were going far.
Yeah. No, I didn't either. I always thought they were outmanded.
And now you got more forwards than anything.
We can take a train ride and find out.
Oh yeah. You take one train ride, you feel like the Knicks gonna win the championship down in New York.
We can take a train ride. I'm telling you, we get off that train ride, kid gonna be. Man.
Kid gonna be. I can see Julius. Hey, Julius
Randle, even though he can't get it right. That boy.
Boy, y'all don't understand. If y'all take a train ride with me in New York and I hear people talking like that, we might not make it off the train.
What do you mean if?
Yeah,
that's a given.
Kid gonna get a shot because
we're not gonna make it off the train. I'm about to straight up be like, I'm gonna use they lingo. Look, son, you mad weird with this right now because y'all trash. Y'all real trash. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Y'all go ahead and get some week 10 so your boy Julius Randle and get him a book bag. Tell him to go backpacking somewhere because it's a wrap. Y'all done. I don't understand why people keep talking about it. They have too many forwards.
Yeah,
they got like 10 forwards.
At that point,
they're the bizarro Bulls. Bulls got nothing but guards. They got nothing but forwards, and they don't want to trade with each other.
Somebody name they roster right now. I guarantee you, you sit there and you name 5 forwards and then a guard, 2 forwards and then a guard, and then it's like
Obi Toppin, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, Mitchell Robinson.
Hey, no, who's buddy? They traded him. No, they traded the one away. Who'd they trade away?
They got Cam Reddish on the bench.
Alec Burks.
No, not Alec Burks. They had another one they traded away. It was
They traded him to Atlanta.
They drafted him before Obi Toppin. He was literally Obi Toppin, and then they drafted Obi Toppin. What's his name? Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox.
Freaking Knox.
And Kevin Knox got a tray ball.
Hey, right.
Kevin Knox.
Nah, we ain't getting off of this till we get this list out, dog. Hold on. Wait. This is the list right now.
I told you what the list. I was going down the list and he stopped me. I told you.
You said Jericho Sims?
Oh, you know him too. Him.
Nerlens Noel.
Nerlens Noel's on the team.
I told you.
Baron Hunt. By the way, everybody we about to name is 6'6" and up. Even if they listed as a 2 guard, RJ Barrett is 6'6", 6'7". Alec Burke is 6'6", 6'7". Evan Fournier is 6'6", 6'7". Taj is 6'9". Hunt is 6'8". Noel's is 6'11". Randall is 6'8". Cam freaking Reddish is 6'8". Jericho Sims is 6'9". Obi Toppin is 6'9". There's only 1, 2, 3. He's not even there no more. 4, 5, 6 people under 6'6" on the team. And 3 of them don't even touch the floor.
Hey, this is the thing. That's not a bad thing if you got some guards to get them the ball.
Kemba Walker is still on the roster. He don't touch the floor.
That's really what it comes down to.
Still on the roster. Legitimately, all you got to do is run the floor.
Dog, Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose don't even touch the floor.
Oh, I forgot D Rose was there. Oh, Derek, get out, brother.
I forgot Kemba Walker was there.
Hey,
I don't
what
even know
package-
who Quentin Grimes is. I
Hey.
hope he can play.
Hey, what package can we come up with that gets that?
Oh,
that
Emmanuel
gets Derek out
quickly.
of there, man. Emmanuel Quickly's there. Yeah. What package can we get that gets Derrick Rose out of there, man? Get him out of there.
Look,
Derek,
give me D Rose and Cam Reddish right now.
Hey, Derek did it to himself. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You could have been here.
Is this the Mitchell Robinson y'all keep talking about on the Knicks?
Yeah, because he don't get no he get up
don't
and
get no
down tick
run.
because it's nothing but forwards and centers on the team.
You mean to tell me he on a bunch? He on a team with a bunch of has-beens and still can't get no tick? What are we talking about?
Nah,
his
he
last
ain't.
game, he did get
Levante
5 blocks.
Grimes,
Though. I ain't gonna
okay.
lie.
Hey,
He got
no.
5 blocks
Hey,
his last game.
listen, kid. He comes in the game, plays great defensively, and then sits down because Julius Randle got to play.
Julius Randle don't play center.
yeah, they all play center.
This
kid.
man had 5 blocks
Hey,
his
hey,
last
hey,
game.
Julius
He had 3
Randle
blocks
play
the game
guard, let him
before.
tell it.
What is we doing?
Hey, kid. They all play center. What do you mean? The position is
Julius
hey,
Randle
hey,
play guard. What you
hey,
what
the
you mean?
position is point guard, center.
Hey, oh God, I be listening to y'all in these chats. I be listening to y'all talk about these trade packages. But Mitchell Robinson is nice. He gives me a lot of blocks. Not much else, but he gives me a lot of blocks. He
blocks,
definitely,
rebounds.
yeah, he double on the rebounds.
Yeah, he give you blocks.
But
and
why
rebounds.
why is he playing less than 30 minutes?
Hey, because they got nothing but guard. Or
He
nothing
played
but
23 minutes on average.
They got nothing but forwards and center.
Dog, if you play 23 minutes and you give me 10 boards and 2 blocks a game, you might be that dude. Hold on, wait.
Hey,
I knew who he was, but I didn't care because he was on the Knicks, and I was like,
Who,
Hey,
Mitchell Robinson?
He
yeah, I
could
didn't
be.
really care who he was.
I told y'all that when the Bulls played them.
He could be cheap. Well, he was cooking us when he played us. He could be cheap Rudy Gobert, man. That's what he really could be, man. Chicago Bulls Central said, "Kids, you got to actually watch him play. You can't base
I
everything off
know.
of the stat
I
sheet."
got that. I know. I mean, a lot of this is just me being comical right now.
But listen,
It's a show.
but
You know,
listen. In 23 minutes, you give me 11 rebounds and 5 blocks.
hey,
You had
listen,
a
I
good game.
gotta go holler at you. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
look. You couldn't have done too much wrong in that situation.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Hey, he's better than Jacopoto. He might be better than Jacopoto, but at least I know Jacopoto getting tick. And I mean,
Let's get up out of here, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Well, we get up out of here though. We didn't even talk about
I'm
the finals.
still
We talked about the Knicks.
I feel like Cam Reddish guy.
Hey, kid, what the next got? What the next got?
That's but forwards. They ain't got guards. Forwards. That's all they got.
hey, before we get up out of here, what's y'all
what the
final
Bulls
prediction
got?
tonight? Who y'all got
Hard.
getting game 5? Who y'all got getting game 5 tonight?
Oh man, I got Steph getting dirty with him. I got Steph. I got GSW for the win.
GSW for the win. Who you got, Steph?
I got the Warriors.
All right.
I think the rim is gonna be level this time. I think it's gonna be legit 10 feet.
Bro. Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying? I think the magnet's gonna be on too. You know,
Hey,
I think you're gonna see them toss that bad boy up, and all of a sudden they go straight down into the rim because the magnet is gonna be on. They're gonna really get Boston back for that.
hey, bro. I'm telling you, that's such a Boston Red Auerbach move, bro.
That's so
They
dirty,
like,
dog.
hey, they was probably loving that. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, and of course, Stefan Adon is in the building. We'll be live. We'll have a video dropping today for short content. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you sign up with the Patreon to see the full views from the Bleacher Podcast. That's going to be dropping just about every Thursday. We're going to keep that regular me and Kid chopping it up. That podcast, by the way, is just us running our mouth. That could be about anything. We just picked Stephen A. Smith that day. So tune in on us with that. And then
we'll pick all these forwards off the Knicks next.
we'll be live tonight for the Warriors Boston game. So make sure y'all tune in on us with that. Get your drinks ready. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe.